G'day from the south of France on what is a picture-perfect day to be running through what the drivers drove. Well, they didn't drive anything. Rode, in fact, to the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's kick it off with Lewis Hamilton in 8 seconds' time. On the first 2 days of the Monaco GP, Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton came in on this MV Agusto LH44 Brutale motorcycle. I shot him last year on exactly the same bike when he came in the far end, but this time he came in the middle gates, and there was quite a ceremony involved on the Friday, with about 25 of us waiting for the great man's arrival, and he didn't disappoint, arriving on his motorcycle with Angela Cullen, his physio, on the back, and then he made his way up to the Mercedes hospitality suite, leaving his bike out the back. You can see here that he has a sticker on his bike. Now, everybody that comes in and parks inside the circuit needs a sticker, and it's arranged by the teams, then placed on each of the individual cars normally, which is a square sticker, but in this case it's a round sticker for a motorbike or a scooter. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of banging over here and some bells going there, but I'm going to forge through anyway. He didn't arrive on the motorcycle on Saturday and Sunday. Instead, he came by boat. This boat, a flash boat indeed, dropped him off at the jetty, where a lot of the drivers came in, and certainly a number of celebrities used that particular jetty. This paddock is one of the trickiest to keep tabs on the drivers because there are actually 5 entries, and so really very hard to keep tabs on every one of them. But I think over the 4 days I got all but 2, and I'll leave those 2 till the end. The Red Bull drivers, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, both coming in by boat. In fact, Red Bull had a lot of vessels on the water this weekend, yes, ferrying their drivers, but also their VIP guests at the Red Bull Energy Station, which is quite the most magnificent facility. It's actually assembled in Italy and then floated into place here in Monaco. If you've watched my other What the Drivers Drove videos, you'll know that a lot of the times all 4 of the Red Bull drivers drive the same vehicle, and that is a Honda Civic Type R. So did all of the drivers come in by boat from Red Bull? No, the other 2, Pierre and Yuki, arrived on SYM Fiddle scooters, simple sort of machine, petrol engine, comes from a Taiwan manufacturer. Pierre's trainer, Pirusel Mella, also came in on one of those scooters, and I'll remind you too that my first signed print collaboration with Pierre is now available. These 40 by 60 centimetre framed prints can be yours. They're all individually numbered and they're hand-signed by Pierre. In fact, they haven't been. They are going to be just prior to the Baku race. Already sold more than half, and you can get on to kimelman.com or go into the link below and select the numbered print you like from the available stock, and they will be sent to you almost anywhere in the world. Next up, Charles Leclerc. On a scooter? No. On a boat? No. He was on a push bike. Well, an electric bike, a Stavello, but he's ridden a Stavello bike for quite some time. Along with him came his trainer on one, and his girlfriend Charlotte Sine was also on a 2-wheeler, although a lot of you were somewhat concerned when I put this picture up on Instagram that she was in danger of losing some stuff out of her handbag on the back. Charles' teammate is Carlos Sainz Jr., and he was riding a Piaggio 3-wheeled scooter. He was coming in with his girlfriend Isa Hanez on a couple of the days at least, maybe all 4, and also with one of those 3-wheel scooters was his father, Carlos Sainz Sr. Next up, the McLaren drivers, and I'll start with Daniel Ricciardo, number 3. He came in by boat, but I never saw him on any day arrive at the track. His teammate Lando Norris was on an SYM scooter as well, with his girlfriend Louisa on a couple of days. And on the Friday night late, I happened to be walking back with my cameras and caught him about to leave with Louisa. Next up, Fernando Alonso was on a Piaggio 3-wheeled bike as well, with his manager on the back. His girlfriend Andrea Schleger was at the track with him, not on a scooter. I'm not sure how she got in, but she spent the weekend as his guest, not working because she is a television presenter on Austrian television. And Esteban Ocon, his Alpine teammate, did not come by scooter. He came with his girlfriend Elena by water taxi, which is a great way of getting to the track. They advertise very simply with signboards being held up by crew, and you simply contact them and they come and pick you up and take you to where you want to go. Oscar Piastri also came in by water taxi. Next up, Lance Stroll came in via tender. There were actually a couple of Aston Martin branded boats plying the harbour. I think they were mainly with guests coming to their hospitality suite, but Lance came on a tender, and I gather, and I'll stand corrected on this, he was probably coming from his own family boat, which was moored up in the harbour, along with hundreds and hundreds of others. And I really love the view that Monaco offers at this time of year, with every single berth booked. His teammate, Sebastian Vettel, he rode a bicycle, and this was a new bicycle. It comes from J. Laverack, which is a company that's based about 90 minutes north of London in the UK, and he's had this brand new bike made for him, and he would have security staff open these grey gates. He'd swing in, occasionally stop for a second or two and sign some autographs on the way down the paddock, and then roll the bike into the back of the Aston Martin hospitality suite and jump off and head up into the suite to do his day's work. Seb is a lover of the bicycle, and I've caught him a number of times riding one to and from the track. Latifi up next. He rode a scooter, as did his teammate Alex Albon. Now, I didn't see Nicholas on his scooter, but I gather it's one of those SYMs, but he did come in with his girlfriend Sandra Zivacek on the Sunday, and unfortunately the Williams hospitality suite is the furthest one up the paddock, and quite frankly you have to have a real reason to go up there to see anything. Next up, Mick Schumacher and his teammate Kevin Magnussen, both riding scooters, rental scooters from this particular mob who seem to get quite a bit of business year after year. And the final two are the Alfa Romeo drivers. Zhou Guanyu came in as a pillion passenger on at least one of the days on one of these electric scooters. Silence is the brand. Quite a nifty machine, obviously just road noise, no machine noise coming out of the thing being electric, and the battery actually comes out on a trolley. Promo material says it'll do 127 kilometres at 100 kilometres an hour on a single charge. And of course around Monaco you just need to go a few kilometres there and back. These are Alfa Romeo scooters. They're owned by the company, and they're transported from race to race in Europe in the back of one of their trucks. And I'll get to the trucks in a little while, because I'm going to give you some insight into what trucks the F1 teams use to go from race to race. Which leaves just our final driver, Valtteri Bottas. He drove his motorbike from his home because he lives here. That is the 20 drivers. And the two that I can't tell you about, was actually only one, I think. It's George Russell. I did not have any idea how he got into the track. Maybe you do. But I can tell you that at one stage he went out to the jetty because he had to go and do a speaking engagement. And he was waiting there for his boat, and it was obviously not there. And he was running late, and so he mentioned to this particular skipper of a small craft saying, could you please run me over there? And I said, no. And then his PR person said, well, can't you even do it for a driver? And the guy was emphatically again, no. But some minutes later his boat did arrive and he was whisked to his appointment. So from the smallest craft to get people from A to B, let's go to the trucks that some of the teams use. And I'm going to start with Aston Martin. This is a Volvo FH16. The cab's worth about £90,000 second hand, but the trailer, which pumps up to double this height, was purchased some 17 years ago for £1 million. That was 17 years ago. Normally they bring 5 trucks, plus they rent space on another 3 with DHL. So effectively they need about 8 truckloads worth of gear to run 2 cars at an F1 race. Alpine, do they use Renault trucks? Yes, they do. I believe this is a T4. But what about Red Bull and AlphaTauri? They too run a Renault truck. Now, they're not too happy about promoting a competitor, so what they do is they paint out the logo on the front of their Renaults, so it's not obvious. And if you have a look here, these two fellas are sitting on a little step that folds out. That's not only good for sitting on, but it's what they use to stand on to clean the front windows. Alfa Romeo uses an Iveco S-Way 570 Stralis XP. Ferrari uses a similar model Iveco. Mercedes uses their own Actros trucks. With that out of the way and about a minute left to go, I'm going to now tell you what each of the garage floors look like. Let's start at the top of the paddock with Mercedes. This is what they have on their floors, just simply the numbers of their 2 drivers. Red Bull, they've made a bit more of an effort. They've gone with their logo, the number, their website and the driver's first name. Next up, Ferrari, and a white piece of probably 1.2 metre wide vinyl has been put all the way down the centre of the garage with the driver's first name and his number. McLaren, well, they've put no effort into their floor. It's devoid of anything. Alpine have gone with their blue, pink and black colours along with the driver's number in the centre. Like their sister team, AlphaTauri's gone to a little bit of effort here with something a bit creative. Aston Martin have gone with no branding, but just simply a couple of black stripes. Williams have made a bit of an effort with their W, and in fact if you go back to the Miami race, they put even more effort in with this colourful version of the W. The second last team is Alfa Romeo, and there is nothing to see here, my friends. And finally, the final team is Haas, and they've featured their drivers' numbers facing out towards pit lane. If you're a member of my channel and you happen to see me at a race or at an airport, by all means, please say hi. I love meeting the people who support this page. If you haven't become a member yet, you can do so by hitting the join button on a laptop. It's just next to subscribe in most countries. Some countries, for some reason, just don't allow memberships. And if you don't want to become a member, at least subscribe. That's absolutely free. You'll find all of my digital images at prostarpics.com for my F1 photo books, merchandise, wall art, and those signed Pierre Gasly prints, which, as I said before, there are still a few left. And for my best pics live from the track and all during the week, head to Instagram and search @KimIllman. Thanks for watching and stay passionate. But I mentioned he arrived on 2 days on... Hell, you got that... Bell's gone for half an hour.